It's March 16th, 2015. And what I was just saying, I was talking about Judge Gillespie and being in his bed. And how he had me in a bed that was the exact same, had the exact same bed covering. I don't know if Mike planned that or not, or if he did, or what their whole deal was. But it was, like I said, it was all white. And later, when Mike took me to an apartment, which he said was his, I don't have a way of proving that it was Mike's apartment, but supposedly it was in Northwest Portland, which was really close to the Catholic Church. He had an apartment that was very close, and I just remember the location because of that, because I remember hearing like church bell or something like that, and wondering what that was from. And then he said it was next to the Archdiocese or Catholic Church or something. It was a big one. It was a big church. And he was kind of like next door. I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird, but given the situation I was in at that time and some of the lawsuits and things that I was going through back then, at that specific time, it was a little bit strange to me. And because I had some court matters that were involving the Catholic Church among other individuals and stuff. So it it stuck in my mind about this location of this apartment. But whether it was his or not, he had his bed made with white sheets, white pillowcases, and white comforter, that whole thing. And anyway, what Judge Gillespie did was, aside from, I do know that he sexually abused me in the bed in some way, but I don't remember how. I don't remember exactly what he did. The time that I remember he raped me was a brutal rape. It was a violent rape, and it was around other people, and it was in the same exact manner that other judges at that same courthouse did. Because as I described, each one of those judges came to my house or wherever it was. It was a small room. I'm not even sure it was a house, but I think it was. But I was being forced to sit in a chair in this very small room. And each judge was showing up and raped me from behind, basically sticking something into my vagina or my anus. And not just gently or quickly or anything like that. I mean, raping me. And then after they did that, right after, and they were furious. I remember how they acted. They weren't acting scared when they did it, and they weren't acting they were acting like they hated my guts. I mean, they were full of rage, hate and rage. I really was kind of shocked. I couldn't figure out what they hated me so badly over. But when they were raping me, when I was this girl, at the moment that they did that, they were, all of them, just these expressions of hatred and rage and anger and yelling at me. And, really violent and very fast-moving kinds of rapes. And then right after they did that, they'd get this electrocution head brace that they used on me. They put it on my head, and then they were cranking up the controls. And some of them, I was seeing their expressions change as they were doing this to me. And they were just full of hatred again. Just these expressions of just almost crazed excitement and gladness. Some of them were smiling, but in a really weird, sadistic way, and then saying really crazy things. And believe me, it was the judges. It was the judges for the courthouse, and they keep getting elected year after year. And this entire area, as I've said before, it's pretty much black site area, and does a bunch of government work. And so when Judge Gillespie had me in his bed, he wasn't acting crazed and violent. at this one in this one specific situation where he was doing this one rape and then frying my brains out afterwards, he did that just like the other judges did. They all did pretty much the same thing. But when he had me in his bed, he wasn't acting violent and crazy and stuff. He was doing more of his like nice man mentoring and programming. And I knew he worked with the government because he didn't keep it a secret at that point. And from what I remember, he was doing his nice stuff and the programming and all of that. He was doing that prior to this big like string of gang rapes or not gang rapes as in all of them at once, but one after the other. And so when I was in this bed with him, one of the things, well, he had his tape recorder out, and he was using a tape recorder to document how he was programming me. That he was saying specific things, and then I was supposed to say certain things back to him. And the way he put it, he had this more of a gentle method. He did torture me sometimes and do programming that way, but sometimes how he was doing it was to say, we're rehearsing for like a play. Pretend we were rehearsing for something. And but he made me do it over and over and over again. And then other people were reinforcing it through more of a torture kind of a system. So then after I was getting tortured to do it, and some of the time to get me to go along with some of it, they were kind of with really crappy excuses. Like they would start trying to appeal to me saying, this is going to be really hard and this is going to be really difficult for you to do, okay? And so here I'm this little girl, you know, okay? And then they'd say, okay, we have some really big enemies out there in the world, and we have no way to defend this country and all of these people in this country. A lot of people are going to die. A lot of people. Kids, maybe your mom and dad. You know, they might come in and start like killing all of us. And you know, you think things are bad now. You just wait till something like that happens. But you can help us. And like, and you know, so sometimes I'd be totally weak, like weak with pain and suffering from what they were doing to me already. And then they come at me with this really like, okay, now we have to calm her down and make her feel like she's special and important, and like this is good work she's doing, and she's on our side, she's part of our team, and we're all working together for a good cause. So they would try to totally spin it. You know, telling me this is really hard, it's be very difficult for you, but if you can help us do this, you know, it's going to be very hard and you might feel really bad and it can be very painful. This isn't very fun, but you can be a real hero. You can save a lot of people's lives. You know, maybe one day you can have, you can make a lot of money, have a career and everything like that. But they played off on this whole sympathy, patriotism idea of, shh, don't tell anybody. You know, just like basically like classic sex abusers of kids use. Shh, don't tell anybody. We're going to be in big trouble. Do you want me to die? You don't want me to die, do you? Yeah, you don't want me to die. What if you get in trouble? You might get in trouble. You know, and what if your mom and dad get in trouble? Just because they let you see me all the time. Yeah, you don't want them to get in trouble. Shh, don't. Really dangerous. And then, you know, maybe they'd have a couple guys break in with guns, you know, to reinforce the dangerous aspect of it. So they get a couple of, you know, fucked up cops and FBI assholes pretending like they're mafia, you know, and they bust into the house, and you know, you're there with Judge Gillespie, his bed. You know, like all kids get to be in Judge Gillespie's bed. And, you know, and he's not the worst of them. I'd say that. There are a lot of people out there that did some horrendous things to me. But, you know, he's part of a system of kidnapping all my babies, so I don't give him any mercy. None. And what I'm talking about is what I mean. Because I tried to spin that little phrase too, like I did in court today, trying to spin everything. But anyway, so, you know, I might be in bed with Judge Gillespie, and we're working on this top secret government, let's help the whole country thing. And, you know, that's how I'm thinking of it. I'm like, oh yeah, we've got a tape recorder going, and we're practicing. I'm practicing really hard. Yeah, I don't even know I'm being totally used. But I'm practicing really hard. And, you know, maybe you have, like, some guys busting in. Gillespie, what are you doing? You owe us some fucking money. You got some money you're gonna pay. Well, when you gonna pay? It's not gonna be Sunday. It's gonna be today. Where's that fucking money? You promised BJ you're gonna give us the money. Where is the money? You know, some crazy person comes in, you know, acting like he's some kind of gangster mafia person. Not that that's what all the mafia people or gangster people are like, but I'm just saying, for example. And then Gillespie's like, acting all scared, and I'm terrified. I'm like trying to hide under the blankets or the bed, and just usually just kind of frozen. And then the other guy's like, snaps open a pocket knife, you know, razor sharp blade. He starts looking at it and moving it around. Hey, I think, you know, licks the tip of the razor, then gets real close to you, wants to get real close to that pretty neck, and starts, I think we got no one here. You know, some whacked kind of scene, and then, and guns, and then Gillespie's like, okay, I'll pay. You guys, don't hurt her. And, you know, so now he's my big defender and protector. Don't hurt her. Don't do anything to her. You know, just leave her alone. You can go after me. It's just the money you want. Right here. I got money. I've got some money. Hang on. I've got some money. So then they do their little deal or whatever. They leave. And all of a sudden, as they leave, I'm noticing Judge Gillespie's like, good job, guys. That was great. You know? Good job. Good job, FBI assholes. You know, good job. You played a really good role. And guess who's really getting paid to be the actors? They are. They're getting paid to fuck up little kids. Literally and seriously. So they'd put on this whole staged event of some big drama, and then Gillespie would be like acting like he's shaking and upset, and then would say something like, you see what can happen if we don't, you have to help us. We need you. All of the things that they probably use to recruit spies with, or people to just work with them. We really need you. You know, you're important. You're crucial to this, and you can help us save all these lives, and your parents' lives, and your life, and the country. And you know, it's really hard. It's very hard to be a martyr, but you know what? Do you know how many people you are helping doing this? You don't want to be in like some country like with such and such, and you don't want to have to deal with people like that all the time, do you? So he put it to me as in, we're the good guys, and for me to be a good guy or a good person, I was supposed to let them brutally rape me, degrade me, torture me, ruin my brains, ruin all of my potential for everything, basically. Kidnap my kids. This goddamn country called the